This might be the easiest way to make birria tacos, authentic Mexican style tacos. And let us show you how to do it. You're going to need 2.5 pounds of beef chuck. Cut it into 3 to 4 inch pieces. At a glance, you'll see all the ingredients we've used, and we will be measuring out each one in the next part of the video. As you can see, all of these ingredients are easily found in the store. So you can use a mixing bowl or a plastic bag that has a zipper on it. We use it just to make it easier. You want to add the salt, the pepper, get all of those seasonings in there. The cumin, and you want to let this sit for about 6 hours at least. You can also go overnight. You want to mix it in nicely for 2 to 3 minutes in the bag before you place it in the refrigerator. Now, if you want to play extra time, you can add these ingredients in for a nice consomme. Here I'm using an Instant Pot in the saute function, but you can also use a saucepan over medium heat. I'm going to heat olive oil, about 2 teaspoons of it, and now I'm going to be adding the chilies. So I will be adding the guajillo and the ancho chilies, and I'm going to toss them when the oil is hot. And I will give that about 30 seconds for that to cook all together. So here's both chilies. And you want to give them a quick stir. You also don't want to overcook them because we don't want to burn them. We want to just give them a nice simmer. Once they have heated for about a minute, we're going to toss in the onion that's roughly chopped, the garlic, which we have measured out, and the ginger paste. We're going to toss that in to combine all of these ingredients together. Now we're going to add our tomatoes into the Instant Pot. Again, you can use a saucepan for this part if you wish. If you do not want to use or have an Instant Pot. We're also going to be adding 2 cups of water. And we're going to be bringing this to a boil. And here you can reduce the heat to medium-low and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And once it's done simmering, you can use either an immersion blender or a blender. I'm using my Vitamix blender to puree the mixture as smooth as possible, working in batches as needed. So here you're going to want to strain the pureed chili mixture into the pot using a large mesh strainer. And you want to do this so you don't get all those little parts inside of the stew when we are pouring it onto the beef chuck. And at this point, you want to add a couple bay leaves. I added 3. This is going to bring the aroma. Then pour in a 1/4 cup of white vinegar. And I added 2 cups of chicken broth. And you also want to add in some honey. I used about a tablespoon of honey. All right, so here you want to grab the bag of beef that has been marinating in the fridge for all that time. You want to use the Instant Pot to get the fastest, most tender beef, setting it for 60 minutes on high. And you'll see how the beef is so fall apart tender all the way. Here I am on high for 60 minutes with the lid on, and here is the end when we have taken the lid off. You can see the beef so juicy, so tender. And remember those carrots and the celery? Yeah, this is the secret for super traditional Mexican birria tacos from Mexico. The best, most tender. You want to start simmering the carrots and the celery. And you want to stir that in with the chicken broth in high heat. While the consomme is tenderizing the vegetables for about 20 minutes, you want to start shredding the beef that is. And if you didn't use Oaxaca, did you even make birria tacos? Now there's going to be a layer of fat, beef fat. You want to take that beef fat and you want to use that, heat it in a large skillet over medium heat until melted. And this is going to be the key to making those tortillas for the tacos come to life. You want to add 2 tortillas and flip them with a spatula. I'm using my hands here just to get coating of the beef birria fat onto one side of each tortilla. And we want to toast it briefly until golden brown. And then make sure your tongs work, because if they aren't, then what are you doing with your life? Once you see that they have toasted on each side, you want to flip them over. As you can see, they are getting that golden brown. Then you want to cover your tortillas with some of that shredded Oaxaca cheese. And make it nice and cheesy. You want that cheese pull to look just phenomenal. And on top of the cheese, you want to add some of the shredded beef. Here we're topping it with some cilantro. Drizzle that consomme on top. And they're ready to be folded over. Press gently. Continue to cook them in the pan, flipping back and forth until brown and crispy for about 2 to 3 minutes. And ladle yourself a little bowl of that consomme, because you worked hard for that. And this is the final look and the final taste test. Try our birria tacos.
And we will finally determine who has emerged victorious between Japan and... These are our attempt at birria tacos. Cheers. Vamos.